Hello everybody, my name is Annette and this is Chemistry at a Glance, and in today's video we're going to work on empirical formulas. So before we go any further, what is an empirical formula? Empirical formula is the smallest ratio between atoms in a formula. So if you had C2H6, this is a formula for molecular formula for your ethane. Our empirical formula would be the smallest ratio of this. So if you divide by 2, you have 1 carbon. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So this would be the empirical formula of ethane, the simplest ratio. But now let's imagine in your exam question you are told they have 40% of carbon in a compound, you have 6.70% of hydrogen in your compound, and you have 53.3% of oxygen in your compound. These three numbers equal 100%. So you straight away know that your compound is formed of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. And now you are told to find the empirical formula. And how do you start this? So again, here comes our equation, N equals mass over mR. And this equation we're going to have to use for each single element that's used in a compound. What we're trying to do again is find the mole ratio, which will help us decide what the empirical formula is. So in order to do this, we need to find moles of each of them first in a compound. So instead of mass, we use the percentage, and the mR is just the atomic mass of the element that we're using. So the atomic mass of carbon is 12, so our N would be 3.33 moles. The same with hydrogen. The mass is our percentage, which is 6.7. In your question, you might be given grams instead of percentages, and you again use the same equation, but instead in the mass, little m would be your mass. So the atomic mass of hydrogen is 1.01, so the answer is 6.63 moles. And the last one is for oxygen, our percentage as a mass, and the mR, atomic mass of oxygen, is 16, which gives you 3.33 moles. This is a ratio, this is a molar ratio of these three atoms in the compound. However, these numbers are not very clear. Some people may not see the ratio straight away, some people may, but it's very difficult to see because they're not whole numbers. So we want to make them whole numbers. So what you do is divide all three of them by the smallest number. Our smallest number here is 3.33. So each of these answers has to be divided by 3.33. This would be 1, this would be 2, this would be 1. So now we have whole numbers. You can straight away see the molar ratio is 1 to 2 to 1. So carbon, 2 hydrogens and oxygen. As you can see, you can't draw this out. Therefore, this is our empirical formula. This is the simplest ratio. Just like with ethane here, CH3 was the simplest ratio. This is the simplest ratio, the empirical formula of this compound that has 40% of carbon, 6.7% of hydrogen, and 53.3% of oxygen.